Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Benanin, and for today's video we're going to be talking about the EltaMD UV Clear Sunscreen. This sunscreen has been popping up in my comment section for like the last year. I feel like every time I post a video somebody recommends this one, so I finally got around to purchasing it and trying it out for you guys, so that's what we'll be talking about. But before we jump into today's video, I just wanted to say hi. How's it going? It feels really weird to sit down here and do a sit down chatty video. I feel like a lot's been going on in my life. To give you the quick rundown, I moved to a new city. I started my first week of grad school orientation, completed all that. I went on vacation last week. What else has changed? That's about it. But I feel like I haven't sat down here to talk to you guys, so just wanted to say a quick hello. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're enjoying your summer. Okay, let's jump into the video. Before we jump into talking about the actual sunscreen, I wanted to talk about my skin type and just remind you guys of what my skin type is. I have very oily, acne prone, sensitive skin, and also as you can see I have dark skin as well, so that's kind of what we're working with. So the EltaMD UV Clear Broad Spectrum SPF 46 is basically their most popular sunscreen for EltaMD. This is a combination sunscreen, which means it's kind of both a physical and a chemical sunscreen. So the active ingredients are zinc oxide 9%. That's where you're getting that physical component of it, and then also Octinoxate 7.5%, and that, as you know, is a chemical filter. Another ingredient that's in here is niacinamide. It's actually the third ingredient on the list, and it's a pretty high percent. It says that it's 5% high purity niacinamide, which is a vitamin B3, which helps to reduce the appearance of blemishes, discoloration, and photo damaged skin. I know some people do have sensitivities to niacinamide, so keep that in mind. For me, I usually don't have an issue with it, but it is kind of an added benefit if your skin responds well to it. This sunscreen claims to be fragrance-free, oil-free, paraben-free, sensitivity-free, and non-comedogenic. I will say for me, I didn't smell anything. It is specifically marketed towards people with acne-prone skin, rosacea, and hyperpigmentation. For me, I have acne-prone skin, and also I struggle with hyperpigmentation, mostly due to the acne. So I had pretty high hopes for this sunscreen. So I got this one from the derm store, and it retailed for $37. I believe that's the same price on the EltaMD website. And then also keep in mind that this is not a water resistant formula, so if you're going to be swimming or sweating, you should replace it with something that is going to be water resistant for you. Okay, so day one, when I wore the sunscreen, I decided to just follow my normal skincare routine and then apply the sunscreen as my final step. So I did my acne serum, and then I used a moisturizer, and then I applied the sunscreen. And as you can see from me applying it to half of my face, I was getting a little annoyed at it because with this sunscreen, the more you tried to blend it in, the more it pilled up. I don't think the camera was picking up on it as much as I could see it in person, but it was definitely beating up around my jawline, around my eyebrows, the crease of my nose. Yeah, the more I tried to rub it in, the more it was beating up. So I would say that if you're gonna use this, try to like rub it in with as little bit of rubbing motion as you can. Just rub it in enough to cover your whole face and then leave it. But after applying it to my whole face, I waited 15 minutes because sometimes some sunscreens just need a little bit of time. So looking back at the footage, I feel like the white cast looked worse in person than it did on camera, and you can still see it on camera. It never completely rubbed in or vanished. I felt like the white cast was still there. As far as how it felt, formula is very lightweight. It really didn't feel like I had anything on. So I wore it for the 2 hours, and this is what I look like after 2 hours. I went ahead and blotted my face to get some of the oils off, and then I reapplied the sunscreen, and it peeled even worse than it did the first time. That was day one's experience. Day two, I decided to skip the moisturizer, skip the acne treatment, and go from my face wash straight to the sunscreen. So I did that, and as you can see, there's still a white cast. I was still experiencing a little bit of pilling. I don't think it was as bad as it was day one, probably because there were, I don't know, maybe fewer products for it to react with. But as you can see, there's still a white cast. It doesn't look like extreme, but like I said, in person, when you go out into the sun, it's definitely more visible than it is on camera. So that was disappointing for me. Also, the finish of this one, since I didn't have moisturizer on this day, I felt pretty dry. When I came back after the 15 minutes and even the 2 hours, I still looked a little bit shiny, but my actual face felt like it needed moisturizer. So this isn't a very hydrating moisturizing formula by any means, but if you are really oily, it might be a good option for you. For me, if I were to ever like use it and, you know, put makeup over it or ignore the fact that there's a white cast, I would probably use just a little bit of moisturizer and then put the sunscreen on instead of completely skipping it altogether. After reapplying it this time though, I feel like it didn't pill as much with the reapplication as it did on day 1. On day 3, I thought, okay, maybe it's pilling up because I'm doing too much rubbing, so I decided to actually use a beauty blender instead and like pat it in instead of rubbing it in to see how it would react. I believe I had my acne serum and then just a little bit of moisturizer, and then I went in with the 2 fingers and used a beauty blender to blend it in, and I felt like doing it this way was actually a lot better. I really didn't experience a whole lot of pilling. There was a little bit of pilling, like I said, mostly in my jawline, and I kind of saw some like the crease of my neck, but it wasn't anything as crazy as it was when I applied it the first 2 days. If you are to use this sunscreen, I would definitely recommend using a beauty blender. I feel like it's annoying to have to use something that's not my fingers, you know. When I do my face routine, I just want to like do quick, you know, and get out the door, and I feel like with the beauty blender I have to like sit there and make sure that it's sinking in. But it did work a little bit better that way, and I don't know, I also felt like the white cast was a little bit better from using the beauty blender. And then as far as how it wears with makeup, I am wearing it today with the makeup, and I think that since the white cast isn't anything like crazy, I mean it's there but it's not like too much there, if that makes sense, that when I applied my makeup over it, it was pretty easy to cover up the white cast. So as you guys can see, I feel like the makeup sat pretty well with this sunscreen. I don't know, I think my makeup looks cute today, if you ask me. And it was pretty easy to cover up the white cast with like some concealer and just a little bit of makeup. My only thing with how it applies with the makeup is that I usually use a brush to blend in my makeup, but I felt like I had to use a beauty blender because, again, the pilling, it started to pill even with the makeup. The beauty blender definitely fixed that problem, so if you're someone who uses a brush, yeah, don't do that with this sunscreen. Replace it, use a beauty blender, and that will really help. All right, so my overall thoughts on the EltaMD. I personally didn't enjoy my experience with it, and I probably will not continue to use it. I don't know if I would recommend it, and I don't really understand what the hype was. Where should we start? Let's start out with the white cast, okay? So the white cast for me, it wasn't crazy, but it wasn't something that I could get away with going to like the store or going to class with without makeup. I think, like, sure, when I was like back away from the camera, you couldn't really see it, but then when you get close up, it's like, oh, there's the white cast. If you are someone with a deeper complexion, I wouldn't recommend this sunscreen simply because there was a white cast. I think that people with oily skin, or maybe even normal to oily, would really enjoy the feel of this. It was very lightweight. It wasn't hydrating. So if you have dry skin, I would not recommend getting it for you. I don't think it was oil controlling, but it wasn't adding any extra oils to you. So if you're someone with oily skin, I guess I would recommend it to you. If you're someone with dry skin, I would probably pass on this one. And then makeup wearers. If you're someone who wears makeup on a normal basis and you want something that's gonna sit well under makeup, I have mixed feelings about this because I think the finish of it with makeup actually looks pretty good, but like I said, the application process of the pilling and, you know, having to slow down and make sure you're patting and not rubbing was very annoying. So if you're someone that wears makeup and you want to find a sunscreen that sits underneath well, I don't think I would recommend this one. It wasn't terrible, but it's not like, oh wow, I really like that, you know what I mean? Oh, I forgot to talk about breakouts and sensitivities. I am someone who, like I said, has acne prone sensitive skin. I didn't experience any reactions for this. I didn't feel any burning, any itching, nothing like that. So I would recommend this for people with sensitive skin. As far as acne prone skin, I will say that I don't believe this sunscreen caused any extra acne. So if you're looking for something that's not gonna cause acne, or it's gonna help maybe to reduce a little bit of the inflammation with the niacinamide, then I guess I could recommend this. Overall, I don't know if you guys can tell by my mood, but I was not a huge fan of this sunscreen. I probably will not repurchase. and I probably will not be using it unless I know that I'm gonna wear makeup and I can kind of cover it up a bit. Kind of bummed this didn't work out because a lot of y'all seem to really like it, but that's okay. That's okay. Not every sunscreen works for everybody, so this is just one that I guess works for a lot of y'all and doesn't work for me, so that's fine. But yeah, those are my thoughts on this sunscreen. Let me know if you've tested this out. I feel like a lot of you have. Let me know if you have the same thoughts or different thoughts, or if you have any tips and tricks for other people who want to buy this but maybe want to find a way to make it work for them. Let us know. If you have any other sunscreen recommendations, make sure you leave them down in the comment section. That'll be it for today's video. If you like it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye!